Welcome back to my channel. Today I am giving you the exercises of on genetics class 10th ICSE, CBSE as well as UP board. For all the students they are very beneficial, right? First, under this question, first name the following. First, the genetic makeup of an organism, it is genotype. The unit of heredity is called genes. A hereditary disease in which blood does not clot, it is hemophilia. The type of gene which, in the presence of contrasting alleles, is not expressed, it is recessive. Next, the physical expression of genes in an individual, it is the dominant character. In nitrogenous base in DNA, they are the nucleotide. Nucleotide, there are four types: adenine, guanine, thymine, and cytosine. Adenine always pairs with thymine, guanine always pairs with cytosine. A cross between two parents having one contrasting character, it's called monohybrid cross. It is called monohybrid cross. The repeating components of each DNA structure lengthwise, means splitting lengthwise, they are chromatids. A pair of corresponding chromosomes of the same shape and size and derived on from each parent, they are homologous chromosomes. Fill in the blanks. Hemophilia is also known as bleeder's disease. Second, small differences among individuals are called variations. Autosomes, autosomes are those chromosomes they do not take part in sex division, whereas sex chromosomes takes part in the sex driven. Autosomal chromosomes do not take part in sex determination. The chromosome number in humans is 23 pairs. Morphological expression of a gene is called phenotype. Morphology means outer, which is seen. Phenotype is of the observable characteristic. Phenotype is the observable characteristic which is genetically controlled, right? Okay. Now see here, state whether true or false. Rewrite false statements in their correct form. First, linked genes are never separated. Yes, the statement is true. Linked genes are never separated. Sex of a child depends upon the health of the mother. No, not at all. It is the false statement. The sex of a child depends upon the chromosomes present. If the ovum fuses with the Y part of the Y sperm, then the XY is formed, male child. If the female ovum fuses with the X sperm of the male, then it will be the female child. Color blindness never passes from a father to a son. Yes, it is true. Because color blindness, it is linked with the X chromosome, and son does not take X chromosome from the father. Son takes X chromosome from his mother. From his father, he takes the Y chromosome, right? The two genes controlling one character separate from each other during gametogenesis. Yes, the two controlling one character, they separate each other from the gametogenesis. Crossing over produces recombinants. Yes, the statement is true. Crossing over produces recombinant. जब क्रॉस ओवर होता है तो क्रॉस ओवर से क्रोमेटिड्स पार्ट्स एक्सचेंज होते हैं जिससे कि नए रिकॉम्बिनेशंस बनते हैं. Now the next one, differentiate genotype and phenotype. See, genetic constitution for any trait of an individual. Genetic constitution for any trait of an individual is termed as genotype. Phenotype means external appearance. Morphological means which is seen by the naked eye. Morphological expression of an individual for any trait is termed as phenotype. It is for morphological expression, it is genetic constitution which is not observed, seen by the naked eye. It is seen by the naked eye. Dominant and recessive. Dominant, the gene which expresses itself phenotypically in the presence of its contrasting allele in the hybrid. Means the character which appears in the first generation in the monohybrid call, that character is called as the dominant character. And the character which does not express itself in the first generation. The character which does not expresses itself in the first generation. The gene which does not expresses in the presence of its contrasting allele, that character is known as recessive character. Haploid and diploid. Haploid, they having one set of chromosomes, half the number of parents' chromosome. Diploid, they having two sets of chromosomes in each cell, means they have the same number of chromosomes as that of the parent cell. I hope it's clear. Now the sex, just see it here. Define alleles. What are alleles? Genes controlling contrasting traits occupying same focus. Locus means location on the homologous chromosome. They are the homologous. Means those who are parallel chromosomes are present. Whichever them, the each one they are termed as alleles. Homozygous. Two identical alleles for a given gene in the diploid cell means which are similar as capital T, small t. They are homozygous in the diploid, means both the traits they having the same character. Linkage, the grouping of genes on the same chromosome. As in a particular gene, the particular group of the genes are the present, and they are responsible for the particular character on the chromosome. That is, the genes are what? It is a part of a chromosome. Chromosome, as I have double helical structure, जेनेटिक रिकॉम्बिनेशन है, एडेनिन पेयर्स विद गुआनिन, साइटोसिन पेयर्स विद। तो यही पेयरिंग अलग अलग तरीके से होती है जो अलग अलग कैरेक्टर्स के लिए रिस्पॉन्सिबल होती है। क्रॉसिंग ओवर, an exchange of corresponding segments of the chromatids of the homologous chromosomes occurs in meiosis में क्रॉसिंग ओवर होता है जब होमोलोगस पेयर, होमोलोगस एक मदर से एक फादर से अपोजिट सेक्स क्रोमोसोम्स पेयर करते हैं, और पेयर करने में फिर उनमें आपस में क्रॉसिंग ओवर होती है। क्रॉसिंग ओवर से जीन्स उसमें क्या होते हैं? एक्सचेंज होते हैं पार्ट। जब क्रोमेटिड्स के पार्ट्स एक्सचेंज होते हैं तो उसमें आपके कैरेक्टर्स भी एक्सचेंज होते हैं। So how you will define the exchange of the corresponding segments of the chromatids of homologous chromosomes occurs during meiosis. Mutation, a change in the DNA of a cell resulting from chromosome breakage or chemical modification of one or more bases, the event that give rise to a new allele. Any sudden change occurs in them. कोई भी जीन में अचानक कोई परिवर्तन होता है और वो पर्टिकुलर स्पीशीज जो होती है वो उसकी ओरिजिनेटर बन जाती है एक नई स्पीशीज को, इसे हम कहते हैं म्यूटेशन। चेंज इन डीएनए से, जिससे ब्रेकेज से या केमिकल मॉडिफिकेशन से या नेचुरल से या क्लाइमेटिक चेंजेस से किसी भी कारण से हो सकती है। नेक्स्ट योर जीनोटाइप फिनोटाइप, वी हैव ऑलरेडी डिस्कस्ड हियर, दिस इज द जीनोटाइप एंड phenotype that you have seen. This is the genotype and this is the phenotype you have already known. Now the next one, state law of segregation, why it is known as law of purity of gametes. See, what's law of segregation? Same here. This law states that when a pair of contrasting characters are brought together in hybrid union, the two characters stay together without mixing and separate from each other when the hybrid forms. मतलब अभी दो contrasting characters को अगर हम हाइब्रिड यूनियन में, जैसे दो कॉन्ट्रास्टिंग कैरेक्टर्स को हाइब्रिड यूनियन में कंबाइन करें तो अगले जनरेशन में बिना एक दूसरे को अफेक्ट किए ये कैरेक्टर्स अपने आप को सेग्रीगेट कर लेते हैं। दैट इज व्हाट कॉल्ड एज द लॉ ऑफ प्योरिटी ऑफ गैमेट। व्हाई इट इज नोन एज, दिस इज द लॉ ऑफ सेग्रीगेशन। ये लॉ ऑफ सेग्रीगेशन है, ये भी है लेकिन इसकी लैंग्वेज थोड़ी कॉम्प्लिकेटेड है कि व्हेन ए पेयर ऑफ एलिलोमर्स आर ब्रॉट टुगेदर इन द हाइब्रिड, they coexist or remain together in the hybrid, वो साथ होते हैं but without contaminating each other, मतलब बिना एक दूसरे के ऊपर कोई भी प्रभाव डाले, and they separate completely and pure during the formation of अगली जनरेशन में जब गैमेट्स बनते हैं तो वो प्योरली अपने कैरेक्टर्स को सेपरेट सेग्रीगेट आउट कर लेते हैं। लॉ ऑफ प्योरिटी ऑफ, इसीलिए सो द गैमेट्स आर ऑलवेज प्योर for a particular character because gametes may carry either the dominant or the recessive factor। जब गैमेट बनते हैं तो उसमें या तो डोमिनेंट भी हो सकता है, रेसेसिव कोई भी कैरेक्टर हो सकता है, बट नॉट बोथ, दोनों तो नहीं आ सकते क्योंकि हाफ ही बनेगा। नॉट बोथ बिकॉज इट इज ए हैप्लॉइड स्ट्रक्चर, भाई हैप्लॉइड स्ट्रक्चर में एक ही कैरेक्टर आएगा। सो दिस लॉ इज ऑल्सो नोन एज प्योरिटी ऑफ गैमेट, इसीलिए इसको लॉ ऑफ प्योरिटी ऑफ गैमेट्स भी कहते हैं। Color blindness is more frequent in males as compared to females। Yes, color blindness is more frequent in males as compared to females. Why? Because color blindness is concerned with the X chromosome. Color blindness, ये X chromosomes है, and in male we have only one X chromosome and in female we have two X chromosome. तो जब इसमें दोनों X chromosomes affected होंगे तब फीमेल कलर ब्लाइंड होगी. लेकिन सिंगल एक्स क्रोमोसोम में अगर एक एक्स क्रोमोसोम कलर ब्लाइंड है, एक ही जीन है, तो वो पर्सन जो है वो कलर ब्लाइंड होगा. इसलिए जो मेल्स में है ये ज्यादा पाई जाती है फीमेल, क्योंकि फीमेल्स में जब दोनों एक्स क्रोमोसोम्स कैरियर होंगे, अगर एक है तो फीमेल कैरियर होगी लेकिन कलर ब्लाइंड नहीं, because females they have two X chromosome while male have only one. So if this chromosome is affected, the male will be colorblind. But in females, when both will be affected, then only they will be colorblind, because it is concerned with the X chromosome, right? Now here, what is meant by sex-linked inheritance? Give few examples in the man. See, as you know, hereditary characters are determined by genes which are carried on the chromosomes. Genes that are carried on the same chromosomes are called linked genes. Sex-linked genes may be located either on the X chromosome or on Y chromosomes, or both X and Y chromosomes. In man, color blindness, hemophilia, and night blindness are some examples of sex-linked disease which are linked with X chromosome. I hope it is clear to you. What are the causes of Mendel's success? See, Mendel's को success क्यों मिली? Mendel succeeded in his experiment beautifully. He took pure parents which are available everywhere. He considered only one set of contrasting characters at a time. He maintained records for each cross for more than third generation. And he considered that single factor or gene controlled a single factor only. Why did Mendel selected pea plant for his experiment or hybridization? See, Mendel selected pea plant for his experiments on hybridization due to following reason. Plants were annual and are well-defined characters. Pea plants could be grown easily, and flowers are self-pollinated as well as cross-pollinated. Right? Okay. Now the next, state Mendel's first law of inheritance and explain with the help of suitable example. See, Mendel's first law of inheritance is, this law states that in crossing between a pair of organisms with pure contrasting character, only one character of the pair appears in F1 generation, and this which appears is called the dominant, while the other is called recessive. When this pure tall plant, it is pure tall plant, and this is the pure dwarf plant. Is dwarf plant, then in the F1 generation, the gametes are formed. All plants are obtained, they are tall, because tallness is the dominant character, so it is known as law of dominance. Right? Now state Mendel's second law of inheritance and explain with the help of suitable examples. Already I told you, this law states when a pair of contrasting characters are brought together in the hybrid union, the two characters stay together without mixing and separate from each other when the hybrid forms the gamete. Example C. This is only law of dominance, and this explains the law of inheritance और लॉ ऑफ प्योरिटी हो गए. देखिए पहले क्या प्योर टॉल को क्रॉस किया तो फर्स्ट जनरेशन में हमको टॉल हाइब्रिड प्लांट्स मिले इन द फर्स्ट जनरेशन, एंड दे आर ऑल हाइब्रिड. ये सारे hybrids हैं. When these hybrids are self-crossed, then in the second generation we get 4 types of the gametes. When they are self-crossed, then we are getting 1 pure tall, 2 hybrid. ये 2 बार नहीं होगा. नहीं, देखिए कैपिटल टी कैपिटल टी कैपिटल टी स्मॉल टी कैपिटल टी, ये स्मॉल टी है. जब ये होगा ये इससे आएगा, ये इससे आएगा, नहीं है ये, या तो ये इससे क्रॉस करेगा, ये या तो इससे क्रॉस करेगा, इससे क्रॉस करेगा तो ये होगा, ये से होगा तो ये होगा, ये और ये से. तो जब ये और इससे क्रॉस करेगा तो ये स्मॉल टी बनेगा. यानी कि एक प्योर टॉल, 2 हाइब्रिड और 1 स्मॉल, ये ड्वार्फ प्लांट होगा. क्योंकि इसमें दोनों में स्मॉल टी है। तो इसका जीनोटिप है, और बाहर से देखने में तो 3:1, यानी कि 3 टॉल प्लांट्स होंगे, एक शॉर्ट प्लांट होगा होगा फिनोटिपिक। और जीनोटिप देखेंगे तो एक प्योर टॉल, 2 हाइब्रिड और एक प्योर डॉल। तो जीनोटिपिक रेशो आएगा 1:2:1, ये जीनोटिपिक रेशो, और ये फिनोटिपिक रेशो। ठीक है। Okay, now let's see. Justify the statement that sex of the child determined at the time of fertilization. Yes, the sex of the child is determined at the time of fertilization. If an ovum is fertilized by Y-carrying sperm, the resultant offspring will be 44 plus XY, means male child. But if the ovum is fertilized by X-carrying sperm, then the resulting offspring will be daughter or the female, because it will carry 44 plus XX chromosome, and that is the female child. Justify the statement, it is better to have colorblind father than to have a colorblind mother. It is better to have colorblind father than to have, because the gene for this is located on X chromosome. Same reason as I told you earlier, because it is located with the X chromosome. So it is better to have colorblind father than to have the color, क्योंकि उसमें एक ही में होगा, इसमें आपके सन्स तो जो होंगे, जो सन होंगे वो कलर ब्लाइंड नहीं होंगे, लेकिन अगर फीमेल होगी तो फीमेल में आधे सन्स जो हैं वो कलर ब्लाइंड होंगे। Name the pair of genes responsible for particular contrasting characteristics. It is allelomorph or allele. Name the structure that transmits the characteristics from parents to offspring. They are the chromosomes. Chromosome contains gene. It is a part of a chromosome. These chromosomes transmit hereditary characters from one generation to the other. Mutation. Mutation is any sudden hereditary change in the genetic makeup of an individual other than that which may be caused by the recombination of genes. First, new species arise due to mutation. Mutations may be useful or harmful. They are large and sudden. Mutations are subjected to natural selection. I hope clear. Next, again in the next video, I'll this part. Next part, I will continue there in the part 2. The next some problems left, they also I'll tell you in the next video. Any doubt anywhere, you can ask me in the comment section. Again, we will meet in the next video.